Oh, you thought buying a Lamborghini was cool? You thought rolling in the Lambo was cool? Well, meet the GulfStream G550 and meet Mike Novogratz, because he is a dude that happened to turn a big-time bet in cryptocurrencies, specifically Ethereum, into a GulfStream G550. My name is Rob from Crypto Bobby, and I want to talk today about, I thought, what was really an interesting article in Bloomberg today that has somewhat of a gimmicky headline when we're looking at it, talking about a Bitcoin bubble being the largest thing that we've ever seen. And I think it's a little bit misquoted in the article itself. And Mike Novogratz, his comments in it are actually all things I really, quite frankly, agree with and are really interesting to me. So I am going to link to the article in the description, but stand by as I kind of walk through some of the really, really interesting, crazy things that Mike happened to kind of go through so far in his crypto journey. And not only that, not only did he end up buying a GulfStream private jet because of his crypto earnings, not only that, but he is actually heading out to start a $500 million crypto hedge fund to invest in cryptocurrencies, to invest in ICOs, initial coin offerings, and other blockchain-related companies. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what the heck is going on with this and how this dude managed to turn a crypto investment into not just a Lambo, not just a Lamborghini. We're not talking about a couple $100,000. We're talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars into this pretty nice looking private jet right here that I wouldn't mind flying around in. But at this point in time, you're not looking at Mike Novogratz over here. So what's going on here and kind of what is the majority of this article about? Like I said, again, don't let the headline fool you. I saw the headline and I was like, oh, wow, another, finance, another established player in finance coming out and saying this is BS and that it's, going to go away forever. So essentially what Mike Novogratz has come out and said is, number one, he got really interested in cryptocurrency back in, he was a former manager, former portfolio hedge fund manager at Fortress Investments, which also had another individual that was pretty big in the cryptocurrency, one of the first kind of big investors in the cryptocurrency space over at Fortress. But he flamed out there, and in the past couple of years after was somewhat fired, has kind of taken an exit from Wall Street, got his ass kicked in money management, and had put in a big bit of trades within the cryptocurrency space. So I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to look at one of the really interesting points. So back in 2016 2015 2016 timeframe, back when Ethereum was, I don't remember the exact time frame, it's not referenced here and I can't pull it up right now, but back when Ethereum was less than $1, Mike threw in a 500 grand bet into Ether. Left on vacation, came back. It was up over 5x. So he made $2 million over the course of a couple weeks. He bought more. And if we look at, let's see, what if Bitcoin? We'll take a look at what if Bitcoin here. See what is happening there and what's going on with Ethereum. We'll say, just for the hell of it, I don't know the exact date, but if it was $500,000 put in July 1st, 2016, which it was likely earlier than that, we'll see. Here you go. So, January 1st of 2016, if that was the actual date that Mike Novogratz put in that 500 grand, he made $153 million in profit, or a 30,000% ROI. He eventually sold enough to make $250 million, the biggest trade of his career. He's a 50-year-old guy that's worked on Wall Street forever. Sold enough Ethereum to make $250 million, the biggest trade of his career. And I love this quote. He said he paid tax on the profits and then bought a GulfStream G550 jet, donated an equal amount to a philanthropic project. So he made enough money to pay all his taxes, buy a jet, and donate as much of the jet to charity. That's awesome. That is absolutely nuts. Also hosts a crypto meetup group in NYC as well, which I'm going to see about looking into attending there. But really, outside of just the fact that this that Mike Novogratz made an absolute killing in terms of a trade. And that's what happens when, number one, you get in early. And not only that, not only you kind of looking at some of these guys that back in the initial days of Bitcoin maybe put in $500 or $1,000 and turn that into a Lambo. This dude was, number one, wealthy enough, and number two, had enough balls to go ahead and make a $500,000 bet on Ether, on Ethereum, that turned into $250 million, which is outrageous. But to that point, a couple different things that were brought up in this article that I think you guys would be interested in hearing. So, as I said again, the title is a little bit misleading, but basically what Novogratz is saying is that this is going to be the biggest money-making opportunity of his entire lifetime, in his opinion, essentially. The Bitcoin markets, the cryptocurrency markets, he said when he refers to a bubble, meaning, yeah, it's eventually going to pop, but it still has an incredible amount of room to grow, and he's basically saying this is going to be the biggest money-making opportunity that he's ever seen, which is why he's taking a $500 million investment portfolio, $150 million of his own dollars, and putting it into this cryptocurrency hedge fund, which is by far going to be the largest hedge fund in terms of cryptocurrencies, to my knowledge, out there. There's a couple other ones, but they have significantly less money under management. But with that being said, when he was asked about a couple other components of what's going on in cryptocurrency and what is kind of happening in the space, the topic of Jamie Dimon was mentioned. And what I thought was funny too, that Mike had mentioned in the article and in this video, there's a video kind of accompanying the article from Bloomberg. But basically what he mentioned is, and I tweeted about this, a lot of people joke about it, but while Jamie was making those comments about Bitcoin being a fraud, Bitcoin being fake, blah, 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 his San Francisco office is holding a Bitcoin cryptocurrency blockchain meetup in their San Francisco office, or in San Francisco. So while New York is doing one thing, while there's this big conference in New York and Bitcoin is a fraud, a couple thousand miles away, there are these really bright people that are JPMorgan employees on the West Coast having meetups and talking about what is happening within the blockchain space, within the cryptocurrency space, which is just a complete dichotomy there as well. So, when we are looking at this, a couple of the key takeaways, in my opinion, as far as what this article has to do, and again, I would definitely recommend in the link below, check it out, check the video that is in here as well, because you could see here in the actual video link says Bitcoin is a bubble, but you should own it. And what he means by that is essentially, you buy now, it's going to grow up. There's going to be a point where that bubble is going to pop. So you want to take your profits at a specific point in time, or try to take your profits and not be over-invested, not be 100% invested within cryptocurrencies, because if and when that bubble does pop, then you're going to be screwed. But the opportunity to make money here is going to be disproportionate to anything else in the markets as of this point in time, as you can see by dude turning 500 grand into $250 million and looking to do the same thing again with a $500 million hedge fund. So I thought this was a really cool article. It was kind of exciting to see, not only from the fact that the guy's obviously done really well in the cryptocurrency space. Timing is one thing, but a big bet is another thing. Anybody can time something, but is somebody willing to put their money where their mouth is? Mike Novogratz was, which is cool to see, and it pays off to the effect of now he's flying around in a Gulfstream jet. I'm not. He is. So, but at the same point in time, looking at the future, he's still confident enough in the future that he's putting another $150 million of his own money into a hedge fund, in addition to another $350 million of money coming in from the outside into that to invest in cryptocurrencies and ICOs as well. So that's interesting to see. I think this is, $500 million from a hedge fund is a lot of money in the cryptocurrency space. That's a pretty big potential market mover. So we'll see how that affects things, but I'm excited to see how this continues to develop. I'm looking forward to keeping an eye on how Novogratz continues to develop in this space. If you guys have any questions, I would love to hear below. If you made that bet, would you buy a GulfStream? Would you buy a Lambo? Would you buy 250 Lambos? Be interested in hearing that. We'll be back later on today too, or whenever you're watching this with the daily market recap of what is happening in the space. And again, if you are new to the channel, my name is Rob from Crypto Bobby. Hit that subscribe button. I do daily recorded videos on the subject of cryptocurrency, the most pressing news as possible, as well as live stream crypto happy hours. Thank you so much for your time. Rob from Crypto Bobby signing out. Peace.